Welcome back to the Irish Bandit channel, or if you're new here, welcome to the channel. I, as always, am your host, the one, the only, the second Irish Bandit, and we're doing something a little bit different on the channel today. Now, I think if you watch my channel long enough, you know that I have an absolute love for music. It doesn't matter, really doesn't matter what type of music it is. I listen to just about anything. Sure, some music today isn't that great, but I like a lot of stuff from basically from the 60s to the mid 2000s. And one of my favorite bands is Linkin Park. I absolutely love them since they came out with One Step Closer. I know they had a life before then, but when they hit the mainstream with Hybrid Theory, it just blew up massively and had great songs on it, like One Step Closer. In the end, just some fantastic songs that came out. But my favorite album of theirs is an album that I say is one of the most perfect albums ever to come out. It was their second major release, and we're going to talk about it today, why I think Meteora by Linkin Park is a perfect album. So just some quick backstory about the album. Meteor was released on March 25th through Warner Brothers Records, following Reanimation, their collaboration album with remixes of songs from their debut album, Hybrid Theory. The album was produced with the band alongside Don Gilmore, and the title is taken from the Greek Orthodox monasteries originally bearing the name. That was a mouthful. Let's see, it was recorded between April and December of 2002. Genre new metal, rap metal, blah, blah, blah. The album's length is 36 minutes, 35 seconds. And I think that is just a perfect running time for the entire album. It never felt too short. It never felt too long. It just felt perfect. Five singles, were released from the album. Somewhere I Belong was the first release from March 17th, 2003. Faint was then released in June of that year. Numb, I think their biggest hit off the album, was released in September. From the Inside was released in January of 2004. And then the final release from the album was Breaking the Habit, which was released in June 2004. Meteor debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, selling over 800,000 copies in its first week. They released all those singles. Meteora has sold around 6 million copies worldwide, making it the 8th best-selling album of the 21st century. Certified 7 times platinum by the RIAA. Is ranked number 36 on Billboard Top 200 Albums of the 2000s. Some songs of the album were remixed for the Collision Course EP with Jay-Z, including Encore Numb, which I'm not a big rap fan, and I absolutely love that song. But yeah, a little bit of backstory about the album. And Session was nominated for Best Rock Instrumental Performance at the 46th Annual Grammy Awards. So the reason why I think Meteor is a perfect album is because it's one of those rare albums you can listen to from the very start, from when Forward begins all the way to when Numb ends, and not skip a single song on the album. There are 13 tracks on this album. The longest track being Somewhere I Belong at 3 minutes 33 seconds. All the songs are under 4 minutes long, so they're not too long. They're just perfect lengths, and there's such a flow through the whole album from when it begins to when it ends. Like from Forward, you go into Don't Stay. Don't Stay goes right into Somewhere I Belong. Somewhere I Belong goes in Lying From You, Hit the Floor, Easier to Run, Faint, Figure 9, Breaking the Habit, From the Inside, Nobody's Listening, Session, into Numb. It just has this fantastic flow that just carries you through. And I've always felt, personally myself, I felt that Meteor was like the quintessential breakup album because it goes through all those emotions you're feeling during a breakup. Because I know I listened to Meteor on repeat after a breakup of mine during that year. So yeah, I equate this with with loss, basically loss of a friendship, of a relationship, of a loved one. You go through all those emotions that you feel when you listen to this album, and it's, you know, and all the songs are just memorable too. Like not just like the singles, like Somewhere I Belong, Numb, Breaking the Habit, not just the singles, but every song on there. It's like I said, there's no skippable song. Like you have in this day and age of iTunes, Spotify, things like that, where you can just pick and choose whatever song you want, put it to a playlist. Meteora is one of those rare albums where you can listen to everything the whole way through without skipping a single album. I know I have quite a few where back in the days of CDs, that's how old I am. I'm so old I remember 8-track, so back in the days of CDs, you'd listen to an album and you'd only listen to certain songs. I know I had quite a few albums like that, like POD's Satellite. I only listened to a couple songs on that one. Or Kid Rock's Cocky. Yeah, I got Kid Rock Cocky. Don't shoot me on that one. Or like Uncle Kracker's No Stranger to the Shame. Yeah, I got that one too. There were only a handful of songs that I'd listen to listen on those albums, and I'd skip the rest. Meteora, I'd put on at the very beginning from forward, and I'd listen to it to the very end. There was no skippable tracks. I think they call that all killer, no filler, and that's exactly what it was. There were no filler songs on this album. It was just everything just sounded so perfect and tight and good. This album was just a great album. Linkin Park would follow Meteora up with Minutes to Midnight in 2007, and it produced such tracks as What I've Done, Bleed It Out, Shadow of the Day, Given Up, and Leave Out All the Rest. Now, as much as I liked this album, I didn't think it was that perfect album like Meteora was. But there were some great songs on here, like Bleed It Out, Shadow of the Day. I loved those songs. Given Up, especially What I've Done when it was used for the Transformers album soundtrack as well. Debuted number 1 on Billboard 200 and in 15 other countries, including the UK and Canada. Go Canada, we have good taste in music. Let's see. Sold more than 4 million copies in the US and is ranked number 145 on Billboard's Hot 200 Albums of the Decades. But despite commercial success, Minutes to Midnight received mixed reviews from critics. Yeah, it wasn't a bad album by any stretch of the imagination. I just don't think it was as good as Meteora. Linkin Park would still go on to have a successful run until 2017, when sadly Chester Bennington passed away due to suicide. It was a huge loss in the music world, because Chester was one of those phenomenal voices. Like, I've heard Chester sing on the album, and I've heard video of him sing, and if you have not heard Chester singing Adele's Rolling in the Deep, that's actually the Linkin Park version of Rolling in the Deep is what made me love Adele, honestly and truthfully. It was because of them I found Adele, and I absolutely love her. Love Linkin Park's cover and of Rolling in the Deep, and Chester just did that song so much justice. And when I heard about the loss of Chester Bennington, it was just like, and especially how he died, it was just so sad, because I'm such an advocate for mental health. And Chester, you could tell with some of these songs, he was crying out for help in some of these songs. You could just tell from some of them. And hopefully Linkin Park will continue on in some way, shape, or form. There's still, Mr. Hahn, Mike Shinoda, the rest of the group. Linkin Park is too good to, I don't want to say like a tragedy like that and the band, but Linkin Park is just too good, man. And hopefully we see more of them in the future. But Meteora is a fantastic album that I recommend to anyone, whether you like rock, new metal, whatever. It is, like I said, it is that perfect album you can just put on from the very beginning, go right through to the very end, and it'll just satisfy you the whole way through. But what's your favorite Linkin Park album? Let me know in the comments section down below. I'd really love to hear. While you're down there, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. In the description, you're going to see a link tree link to all of my social media, be it Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, my Redbubble store. You can pick up all your Irish Bandit merchandise. We have brand new items in the shop, like hats, masks, mouse pads, all the classics like stickers, pins, t-shirts, of course. And I just think it's great that we have hats now. So I'm definitely gonna have to get myself an Irish Bandit hat, of course. How can I not? So be sure to check out the link for all those links, link tree link for all the links. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, tap the bell and you'll be notified whenever a new video goes live. I will be back next week with some great new videos coming your way. I'm going to have a review of another favorite Netflix series of mine, Disenchantment, and then I'm going to be reviewing another DDLC mod, probably my favorite, that being Exit Music Redux. So until then, talk to you again soon.